This week in the news, ESA lies through its teeth about video games, shocking no one. Sony dumps physical games, and more on this week's Old Man Rages at the News. Before we get into the show, hit the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy the content. And we're starting off this week with the scum of the earth, aka the ESA. They declared that Minecraft community servers are illegal, surprising absolutely everyone with how stupid they are in the process. Hell, that's just borderline admitting to how uncultured and uneducated they are when it comes to how the internet works, but hey, it's the ESA. The bar for them surprising us is set so low that they can't even pole vault over it, let alone jump over it. But anyways, here's the clip, so you can't say I'm fucking with you.
One part of the bill is around the ability to go on a community server. The author is stating that that's currently allowed right now, so long as you're. If I don't want to misunderstand what you said, as a member.
That's correct. Minecraft is currently hosted by community servers. Call of Duty community servers. So it's an option that is out there in existence here today.
They're illegal, and they are not in any way affiliated with Microsoft. Microsoft, for Minecraft, has gotten a lot of criticism.
Now, this shit gets better. Notch, the guy that created Minecraft, came out against what the ESA are doing, and it just shows how fucking scummy this shit of an organization is. Hell, you think they're just a bunch of morons that don't know what's happening, but oh boy, do I have some news for you. Microsoft is part of the ESA, and if you know Minecraft's history, you'll know that Microsoft also owns Minecraft. Now, best part of all of this is, not only does the official Minecraft website show these, quote, alleged illegal servers, and displays them via the official server list, keyword here being official, but they also have a step-by-step guide on how to set up a Java Edition server, which they provide the files for, mind you. Hell, they might as well have said that one of the companies that is part of the ESA is supporting piracy at this point. This shit though keeps getting better by the minute. Even PC Gamer knows better than them, and when that happens, you know you fucked up, mate. Now get this. PC Gamer was also able to get a statement from the ESA where they're also doubling down. And to quote the article, private servers infringe on the intellectual property rights of game publishers. Publishers reserve the right to exercise their rights against them. The provision in CAAB 1921 that proposed these servers as a legitimate alternative to keep games running, raising concerns about a publisher's ability to enforce their IP rights. In addition, private servers operate with no oversight from the publisher and do not uphold the same trust and safety standards. This could create an unsafe environment for players and be counter to the industry's commitment to fostering safe and fun gameplay for all players. The amount of stupid in this quote is outstanding, for fuck's sake. I mean, the best or worst part in all of this, depending on how you want to classify it, is if you want to see people squirm and struggle, bend over backwards to sell their point, is that the rambling of this woman also mentioned Warmane and Firestorm, two private World of Warcraft servers that are piracy, no matter how you slice it, and compared them to Minecraft. You know, the same game that Microsoft has guides on how to set up your own servers. Oh, brother. I can't. This week's a bunch of idiots doing stupid shit, apparently. Now, if anybody has some common sense here, they'll see the problem. You know, the fact that you need a legal copy of the game to connect to a Minecraft server, which, you know, she admitted to mention magically, makes you wonder, almost as if her whole argument will fall apart the moment that is brought up. And second, which, mind you, it's literally 2 points here. It's take her statement and shut it up, but you know what? I'm not gonna go there. The second point here being that the reason why private servers for World of Warcraft exist is, well, one, because Blizzard only officially supports 3 expansions right now, which are, well, Classic, Mists of Pandaria, and whatever the current one is, which leaves multiple expansions in the dust. And well, the only way for you to play those is either during the whole re-release cycle that they did, which, yeah, considering right now they're on Mists of Pandaria, the 4th expansion for WoW. You already missed on the first 3 if you wanted to play in one of those. But also, some people can't exactly afford to play on Blizzard servers. And yeah, fair enough. I ain't gonna justify their decision to play on the game, but the way I see it, Blizzard ain't offering the services that people want. Hence why private servers. Are they against the law? Yeah. But anyways, back to the whole shit show that is the ESA. Tom's Hardware also mentioned that there's also allegedly 2 pending lawsuits filed by the ESA, but that was the only information given to us. Yeah, pending lawsuits. Pending does the heavy lifting here, meaning they ain't official yet. If they are, I'm gonna have to cover legal bullshit again now, aren't I? Oh well. Bottom line, the ESA compared all of the private, legitimate Minecraft servers to the black market. Sure, I can see how that works for the World of Warcraft side of things, but Minecraft? Like, come on! Are you stupid or something? Literally need to pay a subscription, I think, for the servers on Minecraft's side. Don't quote me on that. I have no clue. Not exactly what you'd call a Minecraft player. Haven't even touched the damn thing. But anyways, moving on. I mean, I would say moving on, but then again, we are still sticking with a heavy dose of anti-consumerism here, since Sony is trying to complete the speedrun category for destroying your own company. Any percent, mind you. Not only did they remove movies from people's libraries recently, but they're also stopping the production of physical discs. This only takes effect starting January 2028, so no games prior to that will be affected. Obviously, the internet is angry, especially with the fact that Sony can just remove access to any game for any reason they can shit out of their asses. But since this is the internet, everybody and their mother are taking the piss out of Sony for their decision. Now, my personal favorite out of all the shitposting that came out is the Proton Mail joke tweet about it. The one that says how on the 1st of April 2027 they'll be going fully physical, removing all digital aspects. You know, get your code breakers, boys. We're going back to the 19th century with this one. Yeah. While on the other side of the spectrum, one of the more popular jokes is the one that the Domino's Pizza UK X accounts made, where they said that they'll be making digital pizzas only. Not only that, but they will also change their catchphrase to, and I quote here, and I hope I can keep a straight face with this one, whose dumb idea was this? Jesus Christ. Yeah. That shit's funny. Whoever's running the accounts on whoever runs that account deserves a raise. They're literally taking the piss out of all of them, Taco Bell style. Hell, even IGN is reminding people how Sony used to show how to share your games with physical discs. This has to be one of the most disastrous PR moves in history now, isn't it? Now, the worst part of all of this is, according to reports from Austria, Sony has been preparing for this for quite a while. The facility in Thalgau, that manufactures PlayStation discs, has begun restructuring its operations ahead of the 2028 change. The report mentions that it's investing in new manufacturing technology, which they spent 30 million euros on equipment designed to produce optical microlenses. What? Sony's doing VR now? Or cameras? Or what? They're going into the phone market with these microlenses? I don't know. Sure as shit doesn't sound like something a PlayStation would need. Now, at least some good news for the employees. They shouldn't lose their jobs because they moved into testing and development roles for the new manufacturing process, which speculations the microlenses could begin production as early as 2027. And because it's not enough to fuck with physical copies of games, Sony potentially will increase PlayStation prices in the future. You know, because that sure as shit will help you out when your current reputation is, well, I think it's better to describe it like this. The line that indicates public opinion will point in one direction in a straight line. And if Sony increases the price on PlayStation Plus, it might not be in a direction where Sony wants it. But anyways, back to the topic. Basically, a Q&A got translated that was hosted in June with a bunch of higher-ups, and one of the questions in that meeting was, how should we think about the place and scale of future PS Plus price increases, given its importance as a profitability driver? To which the soulless CEOs basically replied with big middle finger to its users. PS Plus offers strong value to players, and we continue to balance that value against customer cost. We are using multiple levers to improve the profitability, including pricing, tier mix, and constant acquisition efficiency. Higher tiers now account for 40% of subscribers, which reflects strong demand for the service. PS Plus remains a key driver of profitability, and we achieved record high PS Plus profitability in the fiscal year of 2025. Now, one of the reasons why I consider this a big middle finger is, well, they just casually moved on after dropping a potential price increase. Here's the thing I also had to do a double take on, since, you know, last time the prices were increased on PlayStation Plus were on the 20th of May. And, well, the meeting where the quote is from June. Now, do I think it will happen? The cynical asshole in me screams it will happen. Now, the more reasonable part of me thinks it will probably not happen for now, especially with how they are in the shitter after, you know, effectively taking physical media out the back and doing an old yeller on it. But it's still worth mentioning since it's not off the table. But anyways, moving on now to the man, the myth, the legend, Timmy Two Cent. Dear Lord, I feel like I'm slowly turning into more Pegasus because every single week I talk about Tim Sweeney like Pegasus talks about Hassan Piker. Well, jokes aside, this giga-brained individual found a random quote retweet and replied to it with an absolutely baffled statement. Here's what's happening economically. Steam charges such high fees that developers with strong brands and big enough audiences like Epic, Riot, and MiHoYo find it more profitable to go it alone. Ironically, lower fees and more openness might increase Steam profit. Hell, this statement is so baffling that even the internet Jesus talked about it. Also, I vaguely remember talking about Epic's profits for the whole year at one point, comparing them to Steam's profits for December, and it wasn't even close at that point. But regardless, let's forget about random numbers and whatnot. But you know what? Let's see if the statement Timmy Two Cent here made holds water. Oh wait, Riot Games have games on Steam. Sure, it's a spin-off game, but it's still on Steam. But let me guess, according to Tim Sweeney, that's not gonna count, right? Oh wait! Hoyo has games on Steam as well. Both Honkai Impact 3rd and Zenless Zone Zero. I mean, knowing Tim Sweeney, he's like, oh no, they're not there. You're not seeing things. Can't believe this is the guy that's trying to teach Valve how to run a business when he is the one who laid off hundreds of workers. Well, come to think of it, did Valve lay off any workers recently? Does anybody know actually if Valve laid off any workers at all? I haven't. Good news also is that despite all the lawsuits that are being thrown Valve's way and them bleeding money, I still haven't heard about a single layoff since I started uploading videos, I guess. And I'm not just talking about news videos as well. But no, we can't stop talking about him because he did another stupid thing. Jesus Christ, this man is like a walking dumpster fire for stupid ideas. Get this. He talked about how Destiny 2 could have been saved with AI. Yeah, I wish that was a joke, but here's Tim Sweeney literally replying to Paul Tassi, and the quote is, if only some sort of newfangled technology could come along and make it possible to overcome Bullet Point 1 and enable games like Destiny to thrive. Jesus Christ. Now I understand well why the Epic Game Store is a hot mess. My brother in tech, for crying out loud. If AI couldn't fucking save it. Actually, if they did that, with how against AI people are, we wouldn't be talking about Destiny 2 shutting down recently. We would have been putting another number on the gravestone, I guess. It would have died long before that. Again, this please falling on deaf ears. Tim, for the love of God, focus on your own company instead of pretending to be high and mighty on top of your delusional chair. Let's be real here. He ain't gonna stop now, would he? Fuck, I can already see it. He's gonna have a stupid take next week that's gonna blow up. Oh, fuck. Alright, anyways. You guys remember how we talked about George Broussard hearing rumors of layoffs? Well, he posted an update. According to an insider, Microsoft is finalizing its major Xbox layoffs decision by the 30th of June, and they are set to begin today, aka the day of uploading this video. He even reposted the original post saying he got a list and it could be the largest single layoff event in gaming history. And additionally to all of that, Jason Schreier did confirm that Obsidian is not negotiating to avoid shutting down, and also mentioned everything will be clearer on Monday, aka we'll have an idea of how big the shit show will be. The layoffs will continue until morale improves, I guess. Now, there is potential that his insiders are correct because IGN found Xbox workers demand layoff protections ahead of expected cuts. A Microsoft spokesperson told IGN they will continue to negotiate with CWA members and to quote them, "We respect the right of our team members to make their voices heard. We have a long track record of good faith partnership with labor organizations and demonstrated by the several finalized bargaining agreements our teams have reached with the CWA and our labor principals. We are continuing to negotiate in good faith with the CWA to reach agreements across Xbox." Man, I knew it was bad for Microsoft when Ashish Sharma talked about the reset, but fucking hell, this is not what I was expecting. In other news, Rockstar is yet again being accused of something. This time, it's being accused of allegedly weaponizing bonuses by the GTA 6 developers. These allegations came from 3 union workers during an interview with Game Developer. To quote one of the employees, "When the bonus is particularly good, it can be a windfall, but often the bonus is disappointing and one can end up being paid considerably less than expected for the year. The reasoning given for this is often nebulous, inconsistent between departments, even inconsistent between team members within the same department, and sometimes hinges on completely subjective or retroactive criticisms. Oh boy! Ain't that something? Not only that, but allegedly, employees are not even given a proper explanation of why payouts are different, and apparently, some employees are woefully underpaid for their efforts. I mean, if this holds water, will I be surprised? Not really. The suits at the top are looking to make money. The grunts that do the manual labor, or all the work in this case, are ones that are looking to be paid for the work. Why not take money from the grunts? But anyways, I digress. Now, they did conclude by pointing out that there has been tangible improvement since the union's formation. To quote the article, since October, there have been unprecedented average wage increases in represented studios. For the first time ever, there is actually some financial incentives for crunch, and several other policies are changing after years of frustration. This time, it's not coincidental. Organizing works. Yeah, who'd have thought? There's an improvement. Unions work. There's an improvement. Holy shit. Almost as if companies don't want unions, because they're gonna have to pay fair wages at that point. But anyways, that's another topic that I ain't getting into. And now, for rapid fire news. And kicking off the segment, we have continuation of the insanity that has been this week. We have Love and Deep Space players sending cow dung to pressure developers into canceling a new character. I knew gacha players were crazy, but holy fuck, this is some wild shit. Now, according to the user Middle Canary, it's because the dude in question was very masculine, and Westerners prefer the typical K-pop pretty boy style. Now, Aftermath did more digging on this and found a post on Red Note from the studio addressing the rumors about hidden meanings in some of the game's content. According to a Reddit translation, players found some files and characters that allegedly referenced the Japanese army's human experiments during World War II, as well as... And, well, can't believe I'm reading this, but I'm surprised it took so long to get something like this. A convicted Japanese war criminal. Yep, I can say now that I've talked about war criminals from different countries that are not in the Balkans. Yay! Anyways, another piece of controversy they addressed is the implied sexual assault because they remove character would break into the main character's house. Oh, brother, I hope that's where it ends, this story, but, you know, there is a petition to bring that guy back, and that got quite a lot of signatures, so... this is gonna continue on for another week, isn't it? And here I thought Hoyo players were, let's call them weird, considering this shit takes the gacha scene to a whole new level of stupid. Anyways, in a continuation of a story from 2 weeks ago, you remember the Wallpaper Engine virus? Well, now Wallpaper Engine is removing the ability to share application wallpapers via Workshop. In their blog post, they shared that only 0.5% of all wallpapers were applications, and that overwhelming majority of users never used them in the first place. My gut feeling is more like 90% of users. Hell, they even reiterated near the end. They want everyone to feel completely safe using Wallpaper Engine, and keeping application wallpapers around is simply no longer compatible with that goal. You can still run those set applications in Wallpaper, still allows it, but it will no longer be available via Steam. Now, sticking with Steam a bit, you remember the Steam Machine and its companion Cube skin that D-Brand offered? Well, it's cancelled. Why? Because D-Brand didn't ask Valve for permission. Now, for those not in the know, D-Brand makes console cases to change how your console looks. They revealed a while back that you can make your Steam Machine look like the companion Cube from Half-Life, but on the 29th of June, they posted an apology on their subreddit and mentioned they never got permission in the first place. Now, the only good thing that came out of this is that the company issued a refund to anyone who purchased the companion cube skin. Well, at least they didn't run away with the money, so that's something. And in other news, the co-lead designer for Baldur's Gate 2 turned down an offer to work on Baldur's Gate 4. And it's understandable, considering, and as the article points out, they're now working on Divinity. So they wouldn't have time to work on Baldur's Gate 4. Not only that, but let's be real here. Following a sequel that sold over 20 million copies sounds very daunting. The co-lead designer himself realizes that too, and let's not forget to mention that on average, the sequel to a successful game fails. And to wrap up this week, according to Bloomberg, several of the lead developers behind the Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League said the game flopped so hard and had such a deep personal impact that it made them not want to make any more games. And just as a reminder, Warner Bros. Confirmed they took roughly a $200 million hit from the title alone. What? The deep personal impact was their egos at that point? What? They were like, oh no, my school arts degree for theater did not pan out. Give me a break. How would anybody fuck up the Arkham Asylum series like that? Well, apparently by making a team-based shooter, putting in shit that nobody cared about in an Arkham game, making the story shit. You know what? I'm gonna wrap this week up. This thing is going on long enough, and I can continue going longer just by citing what was wrong with Kill the Justice League. Now, you know the drill by now. If you like the content, hit the like button. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave a comment if you're up for it, and I'll see you guys next week.